All right. Okay. We have some more people joining us now. Everyone is probably on their way to work or in the shower. That's what I love about Monday morning motivation, is that some people are just in the shower, but they are still here joining us. So I really appreciate that. A lot of early birds.
Yes, maybe we can even start just to recap from the first session. So in the first session, the emphasis was on the kind of dynamics of the toxic work environment and different personality types and knowing your personality type. And we differentiated between leadership and between team player. And these labels are just labels. So we are all leaders or team players in our life. But just to make kind of clear for this topic at work. So basically, if you are more leadership personality type, it means that you have leadership charisma that attracts groups. Kind of when something goes wrong, people look up to you what to do. And there are team players who are more focused on specific tasks, don't want to think about big picture, but want someone else to think about kind of on the bigger scale of what to do. And in the positive work environment, the right personalities should be in the right places. And that means those that are naturally more leadership then should be on a kind of a managerial roles where or maybe just even team leader, because it's just natural to them, and that creates better dynamics in a workplace. So it was just a question, what kind of type do you think you are? Because then that may be part of the problem why you may be unhappy at work, because you're in a position where it's not right for you.
All right, thank you so much, Ivana, for reminding us here about some important insights from the first session. Now it's just time for me to introduce you to our audience. So today we have here with us Ivana. She is the founder of Quantum Career Coaching. So she has really explored and done some research on team dynamics, on work dynamics, and she is also the author of 3 books also about these topics. So later on she will introduce you to those books. And today she is here with us to talk about tools to deal with toxic work environment and negativity. So just before I pass the word to Ivana, and in case we have some newcomers here with us today, let me just introduce a little bit about Monday Morning Motivation. So Monday Morning Motivation is a community of early birds, right? People that want to get some extra more motivation in the morning, especially on Monday mornings that are usually that day of the week that we have a little bit of more resistance after the weekend. So we are now a community of more than 2,500 people. We have created our 7th WeChat group. I just noticed that this QR code is expired, but please feel free to add me or Janine at our WeChat. So the WeChat ID is down below, and we will make sure that we add you to the WeChat groups. We also have an exclusive Hangzhou WeChat group. So if in case you are in Hangzhou, we also have our local community there. So just feel free to reach out and we will add you to the right group. All right, and in case, so as I said, it's a community of people that want to get some inspiration in the morning, and we have some great news. So we are launching our MMM totally in Chinese. So for the first time, we will have our Chinese webinars on November 17th. It's a Wednesday from 8 to 8:30. So let's see how it goes, but we are very, very happy to have this webinar. Our speakers are, this time are foreigners, but they speak Chinese, so looking forward for this. Stay tuned. And in case you want more value from MMA, you can always buy our membership. You will have access to exclusive discounts with our partners, from, you know, translation services, language services, amazing coaching services, psychotherapists. So we have a little bit of everything, and you also will have access to all the recordings from one year and a half of recordings from our MMM sessions. And in case you missed a specific webinar and you want to catch up, you can do it scanning the QR code down below. And we have our amazing 365 book. So now that Christmas is coming, right, all of these holidays, so feel free to buy it for your family, for your friends, or for yourself. And you'll get some amazing quotes, or you can just do some journaling, for example. And we do all of this for free, but in case you want to support the project, you can also do that donating through this QR code over here. And you will also be supporting the environment at the same time, because half of the amount will go to the 1 Million Tree project. And now it's time to give the word to our dear Ivana. So let me share the other PowerPoint. Just give me a second here. And yes, and we have our November lineup over here as well. I'm gonna show it in the end. And okay, 1 second, guys. And there we go. So okay, so Ivana, is this where you want me to start from?
So you're not sharing it? I cannot see it.
Oh, no. All right. So give me a second. I think I closed the sharing, right? Okay. 1 more second. Okay. I should be sharing it right now, right?
Yes, now I can see it.
All right.
Okay.
So for the next 20 to 25 minutes, the stage is yours, Ivana. So 加油.
Okay, so 早上好. I hope that you will benefit from this presentation, and if you have any questions, you can always post in the chat, and we will get to it at the end. So we are continuing from the first session, because today is a little bit different. The first was emphasis on toxic work environment dynamics, and here we will look more into negativity, which is kind of foundation of toxic work environment. So just to kind of recap this bigger picture of toxic work environment, and then we will jump into work and personal negativity. So when we think about toxic work environment, it's similar like we had in the in nature, we may have seen that there are a lot of pollution, a lot of negativity kind of that is bringing destruction. So it's similar in the work environment, that things are bringing destruction to everybody, a little by little. So at first maybe one person is affected, and then later more people are affected by toxic work environment, because it's environment, so everybody is in the environment. And it kind of spreads. So right now we are kind of moving towards more positive, both like maybe in nature, we see we are more aware what we are doing to environment. So no matter our kind of beliefs about how is a planet, let's say environmentally, doing right now, we can think of it similar as in work environment, that when the things are moving, kind of spreading. When things are not going well, they're affecting everybody. That's kind of environment. Okay, so here is one definition of negativity from the dictionary, but you can think of what negativity means for you. We can think about positivity and how great it is to feel good about being with someone that is positive, and how this person lifts you up. And then this is kind of the opposite, right? When you feel kind of stifled or cannot express yourself. So you can think your own definition of negativity. And here I will just go through this one. So it is the expression of criticism about something or an attitude that is not helpful or enthusiastic. So we talked about kind of environment in the first part more, but here we are talking about attitude. So it's kind of, it's me, it's not other person, or it's not something outside, but it's my attitude. How am I looking at things? And today is Monday morning for many people here. So, or it will soon be, depending on where you're listening from. So it's your own attitude, how you see Monday morning. Is it negative or positive? And just taking note of it. So it's okay if it's more negative, right? Because it's how you feel. So however we feel is okay. So just like kind of being aware. And then the expression of criticism. It means judging something. So let's say today is Monday, not Friday or Saturday, then I'm judging it. So it's kind of criticizing and thinking about one thing, comparing it with another. Okay, and then we will look at types of negativity. So of course we can think about many types, but here we are going to focus more on work. So of course we are looking at work and personal negativity, and what does it mean? And we also have inner and projected negativity. And we will look at now at both of them in the next few slides. But to briefly say, work and personal negativity, so they are connected. Sometimes we have situation and work when we are different towards our boss or someone above us, and we kind of express ourselves differently than towards our colleagues or maybe our friends at work. So it's kind of different how we relate. So maybe with some people we have more negativity or more fear or anxiety to talk to. So that's kind of work negativity with different kinds of people. And personal negativity, it's kind of if I can express myself, how am I expressing myself? Because with work, we may be limited. We may not completely express ourselves. And personal negativity is also like inner negativity. We have here inner and projected. It means it comes from the inside. and then we project it to something else by judging, as we mentioned, and comparing with others. How am I? How are others? And maybe thinking, oh, this person is that, or this person is acting this way. And we may be aware of it or not, but we all have that kind of projections. So none of us is kind of free of that. So these are these types that we are going to talk about. And we first focus on work and personal negativity, and we'll talk more. Okay, so here is some interesting statistic we can see here. So some of you may know, but those that don't know, I come from Croatia. So I also put Croatia here. So we have here China, Croatia, United States, and all other countries. And actually Germany is the last one. And the statistics show how many hours annually people work on average. And we can see here that China is like the most working hours. And that's what Sophia said, that most of our lives are work. So that's kind of why this topic is so relevant. Sometimes our personal negativity and work negativity can interlap because we are so much surrounded with people at work. And yeah, so maybe surprising to see that maybe some countries that we thought work a lot or are very efficient don't work like so many hours. They don't spend so much hours working. For example, Germany is like the lowest. How many hours they work. So probably a lot of efficiency here. So just wanted to mention this statistic to kind of reflect how much time we spend at work. And if you have any question, you can always ask about this. So we are continuing about inner and projected negativity. So we have kind of here a beautiful animation with colors. So we will illustrate what negativity means in colors. So maybe if we think about, we may also kind of express ourselves, the colors, how are we shining our light? So light is of course colors. Or feel like someone has black personality, or compare it in colors. So what does blue, for example, mean when we see blue color? So I have here like a blue shirt, and you see it as blue. So I don't know if you ever wondered, like, what does it mean when I see something is blue or something is red or any other color? You can just think about it. But it's something we take for granted. But actually what blue means, that blue color is projected outside. And my shirt is all other colors but blue. It's actually not blue at all, but it's projected blue. So you can see it as blue. And that's how also any other color works. For example, if we have black shirt, it means nothing is projected. It means that shirt has all colors inside. So nothing is projected outside. And white means that everything is projected and actually there is no color. Okay, so what does this mean with our topic? So it means that, let's say, how are we projecting things? Let's say we project maybe some comment. We see someone outside and we think, oh, this person is very beautiful. Or we think, oh, this person is very arrogant. And we see a lot of arrogant people. But what it actually means, I'm not absorbing this within myself. I'm not accepting this quality within myself. So, for example, if I see so many beautiful people, do I consider myself to be beautiful? Or if I am judging and saying, oh, this person is arrogant, do I really know this person? And maybe this person is or is not arrogant, but it's just about how I see things that tell me about myself. So we can also kind of think what we are absorbing, what we are ready to accept about ourselves, how much negativity we recognize in ourselves by seeing how much we project of it to others and not accept it within ourselves, but just kind of reject it. Because one way or another, we are also sometimes arrogant, we are also humble, we are also judging, we are also compassionate. So they're all qualities that we may have, but it's kind of the degree in which we can be with peace, in peace with it. Okay, so that's about inner and projected. Okay, if you have some, so that's kind of more difficult with colors, maybe to understand. So sometimes there are questions here. So if you have, you can ask, but that's the main kind of, I think that the main point is clear. Okay, so now we'll kind of go, we discuss negativity, now we go to how to create a positive change. And yeah, so you can also think about it. But here is one quote that you may not be happy to see, but the good news is it's all up to you, and the bad news is it's all up to you. So nobody will come and save you if you are in a toxic work environment. It's up to you, and but it's good news because you can change something. Of course, someone can help you, but it's your decision. And it's actually similar to what we talked about in the first part, that when you create just a little bit positive change, it can spread. And similarly, negativity also spreads. So you have a big impact that you may not be aware of as you kind of change your perspective and then your behavior as well. And here are some kind of tips. We talked about a team player and leadership personality type. So I will just shortly recap that you need to know what you want in your career. So you need to understand what naturally comes to you, what kind of gifts you have. And one way to look at it is leadership and team player. And then understanding how you can express yourself the best way around people and in the environment that you are in. Then awareness. It's kind of if I say yes or if I say no, it's a big difference. And sometimes it's not as easy as always say no or always say yes. It's more about judging the situation and being aware. So I can just tell you one story that I have with one client. So we were working a lot about her intuition and how to be more aware. And at one point, one colleague stopped her in a hallway where were a lot of people and kind of asked her some question that for her was a little bit like triggering. And she was thinking to respond like automatically, but then stop herself. And kind of didn't say no, even though she wanted. And then later realized that this was just a setup for her, and it would likely get her fired because her boss was just going and would see her kind of arguing with this person, and this person set everything up. And this kind of awareness, we may not, it kind of needs practice, because every situation is different. So sometimes you may say, oh, something is wrong, I should immediately say no. But if we are aware of the context of situation, then we may avoid some kind of traps that otherwise we will not be aware. Okay, and yeah, so that's personal type awareness, and the last one is heal. So in our inner kind of world of negativity, the first one may be this negative mind chatter, the negative thoughts that I'm sure many of you may be worked on and are aware. But it's very kind of, yeah, so just on this I can also talk for hours. But shortly, being aware of your negative mind chatter can help you to not project it as an automatic response, because we may not control our thoughts, but we control our responses. So if our response is also automatically negative, then it's not good, because we cannot choose to be more positive, because automatically, if negative thoughts, then our response cannot be that positive automatically. So it's kind of thinking, yeah, how to deal with that. Okay, so if you have any questions, we have like now 5 more minutes. But I will continue kind of talking maybe just a little bit more about this negative mind chatter. So I don't know if some of you follow me on LinkedIn, but I just recently made a post about this negative mind chatter. So many people have problem with their sleep and cannot kind of stop their thoughts. And then, of course, you wake up grumpy and go at work. It cannot kind of be that positive day, as much positive day as you would like, maybe, if your sleep is not good. So I always emphasize about the kind of positive. Yeah, so here is my book. So you will you can read more about it here. But when we are kind of fighting our thoughts, because everybody has negative thoughts. So I will just finish with this. So everybody has negative thoughts, but if we are fighting them and don't want to kind of have them, then yeah, we are always drained of energy. It's kind of fight. We are losing energy and always feel tired, no matter if we sleep or not, because we are fighting with our thoughts. So if we can just accept them, and one tip I would give is kind of saying to your thoughts, I accept you. It's okay that you're here. It's part of my experience on earth. And maybe even saying, I love you, my thoughts. I'm completely okay with you being here. I love you. I accept you. I hear you. Because sometimes our thoughts are just like children. They want to be heard. Okay. So here is my book. It's sold in Shanghai, and it's the last book. I have 3 books, and this one is on toxic work environment. And it can be bought in Shanghai. I will just, I can share with you the bookstore if you're in Shanghai. If not, it's on Amazon. So internationally, it's available. So it's called the Wolves in Red Hoods. And if you want to chat more about, I also have programs about toxic work environment and how to deal with it, how to deal with negativity. So if you are interested in some personal approach, you can just add me here. Here is my WeChat contact.
All right. Thank you so much, Ivana, for this wonderful talk. I really love this topic because I think, as I was saying in the previous session, we spent so much of our time at work, right? So it's really very, very important to be aware at work and be aware of our work dynamics, the roles that we play. And as you said, to kind of avoid or somehow overcome those setups somehow.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. And guys, the Q&A session is now open. So feel free to now share your questions. You guys might turn on your cameras or and unmute yourselves or just drop your questions in the chat. So just feel free to join us. Okay. So we have, all right, I think some people are giving us some good feedback also about the book. So I'm very curious to read the book. I really like this topic. I'm actually having a talk on types of co-workers these days. So it's also somehow connected to the topic. Yeah, because we always have those very typical or typical archetypes, personality archetypes at the workplace as well, right? So people that always somehow play a role in the whole dynamics. So very, very nice.
Yeah, so if wanting to know more about the book, it describes kind of negative personalities, and I think everybody came in contact with this kind of people that we just cannot relate with or just cannot connect with, and how to deal with these kind of situations. And has poetry, so I try to make it kind of interesting, so that people are, because this topic is kind of serious, and how to bring more kind of positive way to look at it or learn about it.
That's right. And in the session before, I was asking you, how can we somehow create more awareness in our workplace in terms of the roles that we are playing? I think you touched a bit on that during the presentation. I don't know if you would like to share some other tips, maybe practical tips that we can use in the workplace to really become aware of our roles and why we are playing those roles at work.
So can you kind of repeat the question that I know what to focus on, because it's kind of broad?
Yeah, that's right. So maybe some practical tools that we could use in the workplace just to be more aware of, the roles that we are playing there, maybe the dynamics that we are in.
So I think that starting with I don't know, so I don't know this person, even though I think I know, is kind of big part, because we are just looking at things from our perspective, and we never know what someone is going through. We don't really understand other person's experience or what they have gone through. So that is not to excuse things, it's just to kind of accept that we really don't know what is really going on. And as I said, the first part, sometimes we think negatively about one colleague, and but in the end it wasn't really about that colleague, but somebody maybe have set up this situation, and then we argue with someone that's really kind of seeing us, so their perspective may not be in alignment with truth, but someone told them something, and then we completely we have negative experience with that person, even though it's kind of all illusion. But what I would say is that trusting your intuition, that trusting when you had some good relationship with someone at first, maybe this person became more kind of be curious. So why now things are not going as they were before? Why now things have changed, and kind of trying to talk with that person or just with others that this person talks to kind of see what's happening. But I would say that how to be more aware. So if things happen suddenly, so suddenly some change, it means something most of the time that something is happening in the background that we are not aware of. And then kind of being on a lookout to discover more about what happened in the meanwhile. So what am I missing?
All right. Thank you so much, Ivana, for your explanation. Guys, do you have any other questions that you'd like to share? We are about to close our Q&A session. So just... All right, Yang.
Yeah, I would like to answer a question. Thank you. At first, thank you for your sharing, Ivana. I'm quite interested in, I wonder how you just said the first step to make a positive environment and change yourself is to discover what kinds of type are you, how to define yourself. So you in a workplace, you are a leader or a team player, but sometimes it is very difficult to define yourself.
Yes, so I would say that things are not black and white. I also say that we all are team players and leaders, so it's kind of just a label, and we all have maybe good or bad relationship with when we think about leadership or what team player means. But I define it in my book, so maybe it may be different than what you think consider a leader. But I would say that you naturally kind of feel if you are in a good role or a role that where you cannot express your gifts. So that's the first step, kind of generally to look at, am I in the right role where I can express myself, where I can share my gifts with others? Because just leadership means that I'm in a group of people. I like to kind of so for example, I'm a leadership personality type more than team player. So for me, in a group setting, I always think about big picture, where everybody is going, not just me. And team player. So I hope that it will, does it help?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Yeah, I can imagine if you work with others, and sometimes if you have more pictures, it means you would like to be a leader in a work group. I mean, yeah, more than a team player.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ivana.
I have a question. Ask. Okay. Okay, thank you, Ivana, for your good sharing this morning. I find it's very...
think we have... Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your session this morning. I find it's very insightful. And currently, I have some situation. I just feel like some of my friends always feel like I have some negative thought and thinking. But somehow I find I just feel be realistic in a way, knowing the situation, not just always think very positive, but I ignore what is the real situation. So I wonder any of the ideas how you can feel like suggest us like be in a neutral, the situation is possibly not good. We need to be realistic, but in a way when we address this, how can we just keep the positive attitude, but not just being very positive and ignore the situation? Yeah.
Okay, so I think your question kind of has several parts. So I will just start with saying that when you think about your friends and your kind of how they're reacting to you, you need to ask yourself why. So what exactly is here a problem for me in their reaction? Does that mean that I then feel like less positive person if I acknowledge that something is negative? So kind of thinking that this kind of projection is just your point of view, right? How you are looking at your friends. So maybe someone would just ignore or would look at it slightly differently. So I would suggest that you first take a look at how, when someone says something to you, you react to it. So that's kind of a first step, because nobody wants to be seen as kind of maybe negative person. Because it seems like one part of you may believe that you're realistic, but another part of you may think, oh, maybe they're right, maybe I'm really negative. So then thinking, can I accept that sometimes I'm negative? So that's also okay. Sometimes I'm also negative, because it's just kind of natural for us to not look at everything positively. And then your second part of the question is, so we are a little bit going late, but just to answer this, so how to look at things more neutrally, right? So we would all like to be very objective, very reasonable, and always be kind of right. So that's kind of with perfectionism, right? And we may accept, can I accept that sometimes I make a mistake? I think of some situation as negative, but in fact it turns into opportunity. So it's kind of all integrating into your, in accepting within yourself first, sometimes I'm negative. Okay, and it's okay. And also accepting sometimes I make mistakes about situation, and that's also okay. So kind of being compassionate towards yourself, and as I mentioned, like loving your thoughts, saying I love your thoughts, even if they're negative, can bring kind of peace or that neutral feeling, because we are accepting everything that we are, everything that's going on. I don't know if that makes any sense, or is it helpful to you? If you have any extra question.
No, thank you.
Ivana, thank you. And thank you for your question. Thank you for the question, guys. Now it's time to close our Q&A session. So guys, thank you so much for being here with us this Monday morning. As you probably saw in the PowerPoint, we are now launching our Chinese MMMs. So stay tuned. On November 17, we will have our first session in Chinese. So stay tuned for that. And don't miss our webinar next Monday morning, also about the feedback mindset. So me and Janine, we will be talking about that topic. And thank you so much, Ivana, for being here with us today, this Monday morning. Guys, have a happy Monday, happy beginning of your week. And hope you guys started with a lot of motivation. Have a great day. Happy Monday.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.